Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie. I'm a clinical psychologist at Annabelle Psychology and Annabelle Kids.
Hi, my name is Max. I'm a clinical psychologist at Annabelle Psychology.
Hello, my name is Key, and I'm an associate psychologist at Annabelle Psychology and Annabelle Kids.
Hi, I'm Charmaine. I'm a speech therapist and I work at Annabelle Kids.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm a clinical psychologist at Annabelle Kids and Annabelle Psychology.
Hi, I'm Annabelle and I'm a clinical psychologist at Annabelle Psychology and Annabelle Kids. I will be talking a little bit about how we gave birth to both Annabelle Psychology and Annabelle Kids. Well, the real reason why I started Annabelle Psych was because I wanted to bring my baby to work. On a separate reason, besides the home front, it was also because from my experience in the hospital setting, I think while the experience was great in terms of seeing a broad range of patients, I did find a lot of my time being divided into a lot of other administrative matters and meetings. And I really wanted to invest a lot of my time doing purely clinical work. I get a lot of satisfaction when I see them improve, when their quality of life becomes better. And I thought, yeah, so that's how Annabelle Psychology started. We were really lucky to have a team of dedicated psychologists at Annabelle Psychology. And during one of our Christmas retreats, we talked about our hopes and dreams for the clinic. And we realized that something that a lot of our colleagues were passionate about was to have a multidisciplinary center for children, whether it was for children with neurodiverse needs or healthy children who had emotional difficulties or challenges that they face at home or in school. For those reasons, we decided to get a space that was big enough for parents to rest comfortably while they were waiting for their children to finish up therapy. And at the same time, we wanted a team where it comprised of a psychologist, an art therapist, a speech therapist, and an occupational therapist, so that busy parents don't have to be shuttling between therapy centers for their children's needs. We could stay here all night. First struggle was the lack of sleep.
The difficulty leaving work at the office. Because I see children with different issues and difficulties, and sometimes I carry that home. But I think with experience, I've been more able to leave that in the office. But definitely when there are more challenging cases, I do need more time to process them.
Sometimes it's managing parents and caregivers' expectations.
Sometimes perhaps clients themselves might have the expectation that things would change within a couple of sessions, for example, and I think sometimes that's hard.
Because there are certain things that take time, and it also takes combined effort from all the people involved in a child's life. So that can be quite challenging to actually reconcile all these differences and get everyone to work together.
I suppose when I'm having to see clients or patients who have difficulties that are long-standing and quite perpetual, so it can be quite difficult for me sometimes to be there with them as much as I really want to, because there are some of these problems that I can't solve, and it's very easy to see how my clients have a lot of difficulty solving it for themselves as well.
And I suppose the other challenge that I experienced was having to double hat, to be a clinician by ethical and clinical standards. But there's also, in reality, that business side of things to the clinic, which I had then found the way to smiggle out of it is to build a team of people who will help manage that, so that the clinicians don't have to make decisions and should not be making decisions that will coincide or parallel with business decisions.
Yeah, I don't know which one's the most, but this one came to mind. I was running around one of our clinics when there were no clients around, pretending to vacuum with one of our colleagues' sons.
Events when we run in the clinic where we get everyone to come together to work together. It feels quite nice to see different strengths come into play, and everyone working together just feels really, really good.
One of my clients' parents actually shared with me positive feedback from people in the child's life.
Our recent A-Kids symposium, because I had the opportunity to bring both my children to the symposium, and they also had the opportunity to interact with other children with different needs.
When I had a case, it was an observation back at A-Site. It was mainly a child observation, and it was memorable to me because at the end of the session, the kid wrote on the whiteboard "Love Miss Key."
The thing I love most about the clinic is my people.
The support I get from the team here.
My colleagues.
The people.
Is the people.
The support staff, all of them are angels, like seriously.